iRadio.
Sounds of the week on iRadio.
عيال تعبانين وأمهات تعبانين لأنه وضع اقتصاد في داخل البلد تعبان يعني ما بقدر يجيبوا تغذية كويس لجنا عشان كده أمراض بقى كتير في مستشفيات ناس قايمة عيال تعبانين في مستشفى. حاجة الثاني مستشفى الناينو استافتو فول من كل فوم شغالين كويس لكن في حاجة الناينو في مستشفى هنا كهرباء فيه لكن مراوح ما شغال مروح ما يشتغل فأنا جي فكر كده الناس الإندو قلب تمن كويس عشان عيال في داخل المستشفى ده من ده عيال تاعنا كله عيال تشعب الجنوب كده الناس عينوا لمستشفى ما كده الناس عينوا للسيكا وعربية كده الناس فكر عينوا في مستشفى ناس الجنوب فلتا ومهات الجرا عيال دي حالهم صحة تمن كويس ولو من عيانين حالهم قاكل كويس ولو من جعانين فالناس كده الناس اسمع برا كده من جاء لأن كانوا الناس رجال أعمال ولا كانوا من حكومة كده من جاء أي مستشفى الصباح كده من جاء دائما في مستشفى الصباح كده من قدموا أي خدمة عشان نكون مبسوطين وعشان الناس الشغالين ذاته بيكونوا مبسوطين من بعينه لأنه جانا بيجيني 3 يوم 4 يوم بروح في بيت.
Sounds of the week on iRadio. Your eye on South Sudan.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The United Nations Human Rights Commission says South Sudanese are looking to the African Union and the region to rescue them from a preventable fate. The Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, James Mawich Makwach, is in Egypt for the 8th Cairo Water Week conference, which kicked off on Sunday. And a veteran journalist and political commentator, Michael Koma, has died after a short illness, a family member has confirmed to iRadio. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The United Nations Human Rights Commission says South Sudanese are looking to the African Union and the region to rescue them from a preventable fate. In a statement sent to iRadio Newsroom today, the Commission urges AU and UN Security Councils to act decisively as crisis deepens, demanding urgent action and renewed commitment to peace, accountability and a credible transition. Madrama James reports.
It says the South Sudan escalating political crisis is driving renewed armed violence, compounding already dire human rights and humanitarian conditions while heightening regional instability, the UN Commission on Human Rights in South Sudan warned today. Despite 1 decade of effort by the African Union and regional actors to support the peace process, the Commission says South Sudan's leaders have deliberately stalled progress and brought the country to yet another precipice. According to the statement, armed clashes are occurring on a scale not since the cessation of hostilities was signed in 2017, with the civilian bearing the brunt of human rights violations and displacements. Concluding its mission to the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, the Commission underscored that South Sudan justice and accountability vacuum continues to fuel political intransigence, impunity, conflict and corruption. The Commission also engaged African Union officials, emphasizing the need for urgency in establishing the transitional justice mechanisms reaffirmed in Chapter 5 of the 2018 Revitalized Peace Agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, notably the hybrid code. According to the Commission, renewed armed clashes have forced thousands of South Sudanese to flee once more. In 2025 alone, it added an estimated 300,000 South Sudanese flee the country, largely due to the increasing conflict, with 148,000 new arrivals into Sudan, 50,000 to Ethiopia, 50,000 to Uganda, 30,000 to the Democratic Republic of Congo, and 25,000 to Kenya. In Addis Ababa, the Commission consulted with the AU AD Hoc Committee on South Sudan C5 Group, African Commission on Human and People's Rights, diplomats, UN, IGAD, and senior AU officials, including from the Office of the Legal Counsel. The Commission stressed the need for intensified regional effort to de-escalate and address political tension and searching armed consultation in South Sudan and called for sustainable progress to advance a holistic transitional justice agenda. It underlined that only an inclusive and credible political transition supported by the AU, IGAD, the United Nations, and grantors of the peace agreement, working in the tandem with the international community, can prevent further deterioration and violation. The Commission urges sustained and focused diplomatic engagement to ensure that all actors, including armed and political groups currently outside the peace framework, are brought into a consensus-based process committed to peace and human rights. Commissioner Oscar said, and I quote, "The crisis unfolding in South Sudan is the result of deliberate choices made by its leaders to put their interests above those of their people. The region and the international community must now prevail upon South Sudan leaders to make a different choice, one that puts their people first."
Thanks, Madrama James. The Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, James Mawech Makwach, is in Egypt for the 8th Cairo Water Week conference, which kicked off on Sunday. Minister Mawech joined other regional leaders for the week-long event, which was officially opened by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The annual conference brings together global leaders, experts, and policymakers in the water sector. Held under the theme Innovative Solutions for Climate Resilience and Water Sustainability, this year's event serves as a platform for dialogue and sharing knowledge on climate resilience, water security, transboundary cooperation, and sustainable water management. Water ministers from Senegal and South Africa are also taking part in a high-level session focused on cooperation for sustainable water management. The gathering comes as Egypt and Sudan continue to raise concerns about Ethiopia's mega dam on the Nile River, saying it threatens their water security. Ethiopia, however, maintains the project will not affect Egypt's water interests. Participants are expected to explore ways of strengthening cooperation to address shared water challenges, promote regional peace, and support sustainable development through water diplomacy and innovation. The conference runs from October 12 to 16, 2025, and brings together international water experts, institutions, and shareholders working to address global water issues. Minister Mawech is representing South Sudan and will be reaffirming the country's commitment to regional and international cooperation in the water sector. Veteran journalist and political commentator Michael Koma has died after a short illness, a family member has confirmed to iRadio. Koma passed away late last night at the age of 50 due to hypoglycemia after being hospitalized for 2 days at a hospital in Juba. According to the family, he was admitted on Saturday after falling seriously ill. Speaking to iRadio this morning, Helen Martin, a family member, confirmed the passing of the veteran journalist.
It is really a sad news to us. Losing our brother wasn't an easy one this night. Koma was taken to the hospital, Maimuna complex, the day before yesterday. So, according to the person, because he went with the one little girl, so we are not at home. So, according to that small girl, that Koma just felt so bad, and then he was rushed to the hospital. Calling her sister, then the sister came. When the sister arrived, the situation was going high. He has a low sugar. The sugar dropped so much. Yeah, as they hurried to give him some first aid, but they really couldn't manage. They tried their best. Yesterday he was like recovering, but the situation was really not giving hope. And then late in the night today, around 12 a.m., he passed on. As I talk now, the body has been taken to funeral home this morning, and the funeral is at home in Konyo, Handemafe.
Michael Koma was a renowned journalist and former editor of several newspapers, including Juba Monitor, The Witness, and The Dawn. He was widely known for his fearless reporting, sharp commentary, and strong editorial voice in South Sudan's media landscape. Koma is survived by 3 wives and several children. The funeral service is being held at the family home behind Konyo Konyo Market in Juba. His body remains at the funeral home awaiting burial arrangements. This is iRadio News. Women leaders in Central Equatorial State are appealing for urgent support to Al-Shabaab Children's Hospital as worsening conditions continue to threaten the care and survival of newborns and infants. The facility located in Juba is the only pediatric hospital in South Sudan. It provides health care services to thousands of children each year, most of them from low-income families who cannot afford private care. The Central Equatorial State Women's Union made the appeal during a visit to the hospital on Saturday. The group expressed serious concern over what they described as alarming conditions at the facility. They pointed to a shortage of essential drugs, broken air conditioners, limited space, and overcrowded wards, all of which pose serious risk to the lives of the vulnerable children and their mothers. Speaking during the visit, Arab Juma Suleiman, Secretary of the Central Equatoria Women's Council, said the situation at Al-Sabah reflects the broader health crisis affecting many families in the capital.
احنا سعيدين الليلة ان جا في مشفة الصباح احنا جايين من العيال وعيال امهاتنا عيالتنا فانا جايين من الليلة احنا لقينا مستشفى مليان شديد وارفع صوتنا برا كده الناس اسمع صوتنا تا ويمن يونيو من جوا مستشفى الصباح بانه عيال تعبانين وامهات تعبانين لانه وضع اقتصاد في داخل البلد تعبان يعني ما بقدر يجيبوا تغذيه كويس لجنا عشان كده امراض بقى كتير في مستشفيات ناس قايمين عيال تعبانين في مستشفى. حاجه ثاني مستشفى الناينو استافتو فول من كل فوم شغالين كويس لكن في حاجه الناينو في المستشفى هنا كهرباء فيه لكن مراوح ما شغال مروح ما يشتغل فانا جي فكر كده الناس عنده قلب تمن كويس عشان عيال في داخل المستشفى ده من ده عيال تاعنا كله عيال شعب الجنوب كده الناس عاينوا لمستشفى ما كده الناس عاينوا للسكه وعربيه كده الناس فكر عاينوا في مستشفى ناس الجنوب فلتا ومهات الجيران عيال دي حالهم صحتهم كويس ولا من عيانين حالهم غاكل كويس ولا من جعانين فالناس كده الناس اسمع برا كده من جا لان كانوا الناس رجال اعمال ولا كانوا من حكومه كده من جا عينوا مستشفى الصباح كده من جا دائما في مستشفى الصباح كده من قدموا اي خدمه عشان نكون مبسوطين وعشان الناس الشغالين ذاته بيكونوا مبسوطين من بعينه لانه جانا بيجيني 3 يوم 4 يوم بروح في بيت.
Meanwhile, Flora Nicola, a women's representative from Wanduruba, also called for immediate intervention from humanitarian agencies and child-focused organizations.
فاحنا بنقول ربنا يديم الرعاية الخاصة لعيالنا لأنه العيال بجد محتاجين رعاية خاصة لأنه في سوء تغذية وفي أمراض كتير بتاع الطفولة منتشر في ديسنتريا وبيقول عليه شنو إسهالات كتير أيوة وفي كحة وفي التهابات ده كله محتاج رعاية صحية فأنا كمان من خلال هسي كلام اللي أنا قاعد أقوله ده أنا قاعد أدعو كل المنظمات اللي قاعد يساعد الأم والطفل زي سيف ذا تشيلدرن وإحنا عندنا المنظمة بتاعت إنقاذ الطفولة هو سيف ذا تشيلدرن وفي برضو منظمات كتير برضو زي يونيسيف برضو هم قاعدين يساعدوا الأطفال ويساعدوا الأمهات فأنا قاعد أنا داير إنتوا تلبوا النداء حقنا الليلة إحنا نسوان إحنا قاعدين نكورك عشان إنتوا تجونا كويس أنا برضو بسأل الحكومة حقنا لازم خليه يجي ويشوف المستشفيات ده بالأخص مستشفى بتاع الصباح لأنه ده مستشفى بتاع عيالنا العيال دين هم الليلة عيال وبكرة هم دين ناس كمستقبل.
The women leaders urge both the national and state governments, non-governmental organizations, private companies and philanthropies to provide urgent assistance including medicine, equipment and improve infrastructure to ease the pressure on the hospital. Hospital officials and caretakers have raised repeated concerns about poor conditions in the wards and a lack of life-saving medical equipment. During their visit, the Women's Union donated food and non-food items to lactating mothers, including sanitary pads, soap, biscuits and sugar, as part of efforts to support their mothers before discharge. The union reaffirmed its commitment to continue advocating for better maternal and child health care in the country, saying the well-being of mothers and children should remain a top national priority. Authorities in Mayandit County of Unity State say malaria cases have increased due to ongoing flooding that has submerged several health facilities. County Commissioner Marco Jong Magok told iRadio this morning that the floods have worsened the health situation, with malaria being the most reported illness. According to Marco, many residents lack mosquito nets and the area has not received any malaria vaccines. He added that while some humanitarian aid has been received in the past, it is not enough to cover the needs of the entire population.
And for the malaria cases, the water, this system of flooding, which the malaria cases, they increase due to the flooding. So, most people, rather than me some NGOs distribute some items, but they are not enough, and we are still asking for the mosquito net and the other. That's all. There's a lot of, there's nothing for. There's no malaria vaccine, but the PCC, which is there, we are still providing that we have they're still for malaria vaccine.
The commissioner also revealed that the flooding has not only caused diseases but has also destroyed key health facilities across the country. He said most primary health care units in the area have been submerged, leaving only 2 functioning health centers, one in the county headquarters, Rupkwai, and another in Kokpayam.
Yeah, we have this PHC in Rupkwai, which is the Rupkwai headquarters, which seems to be central headquarters for Mayandi. And we are in some Payam, we have like PHCU, and they are submerged by the water. We remain only with the one in Tunyang plus the one in Ruplo. So another one in Coke. Those are the remaining ones. The others are already submerged by the.
Local authorities are appealing for urgent support from health agencies and humanitarian organizations to respond to the rising health crisis and help restore medical services in flood-affected areas. Before international news, former national women's team manager Victoria Nasera has been appointed to the FIFA Women's Football Development Committee for the 2025-2029 term. Nasera becomes the first South Sudanese woman to serve on the prestigious Global Committee, a major milestone and recognition of her long-standing contributions to women's football in South Sudan and across sub-Saharan Africa. She is a former player and team manager of the Bright Starlets and a strong advocate for grassroots football development. Nasera brings years of experience and a proven track record to the international role. Speaking to iRadio this morning, Nasera thanked football authorities for their continued support to women's football, but also called for more action to improve female representation in leadership roles.
To the federation, I would say, I appreciate the support they're giving to women's football, but there is more they need to do, because I know there are challenges, a lot of challenges that we really need. In terms of women representation, I still ask the entire federation to bring more positions of a little bit of more percentages in the federation in terms of leadership. Because when you look at the board or the executive committee, out of 13 members, there's only one woman, which is under representation of women. We have very capable women, but they are not given the opportunity to. Then to the government and to the NGOs, I ask them to continuously support women football and the federation at large, because and also the media houses.
She said there are many capable women in South Sudan who deserve leadership opportunities but continue to be silent. Nasera also noted that the challenges South Sudanese women face in sport go beyond the pitch, particularly the lack of female voices in key decision-making bodies. She pledged to use her new position at FIFA to advocate for greater inclusion and tackle systemic issues affecting women in football, both locally and globally. Nasera began her football career at Komboni Comprehensive College in Nomin Kajukeji. She is also the founder of Nazvik Initiative South Sudan, an organization that uses football to drive social change. This is iRadio News, and now to the international scene. Here is Walma Pal.
Good afternoon, Lasoba. Taking you through regional international stories. 42 Zimbabwean and Malawian nationals have died after a bus taking them home overturned on a South African road, authorities have said. The crash happened on Sunday night as the bus was moving through a mountainous section of the N1 highway in South Africa's Limpopo province, local transport officials said. It then veered off the road along a steep mountain pass and plunged down an embankment, they said. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa mourned the high death toll, which includes 7 children, and said this was not only a tragedy for the country, but for our sister states of Zimbabwe and Malawi as well. Elsewhere, the Dutch government has taken control of Nexperia, a Chinese-owned chip maker based in the Netherlands, in a bid to safeguard the European supply of semiconductors for cars and other electronic goods and protect Europe's economic security. The Hague said it took the decision due to serious governance shortcomings and to prevent the chips from becoming unavailable in an emergency. Nexperia's owner Wingtech said on Monday that it would take actions to protect its rights and would seek government support. The development threatens to raise tensions between the European Union and China, which have increased in recent months over trade and Beijing's relationship with Russia. Finally, Donald Trump is in Israel and addressing parliament before heading to Egypt for peace summit with world leaders. His visit resulted in the release of the last 20 living hostages held by Hamas in Gaza after more than 2 years' captivity, the Israeli military confirms. The hostages were kidnapped by Hamas during the 7th October attacks in 2023. They include 2 twin brothers, Ziv and Gali Berman, and Omiri Miran, who was captured reuniting with his wife, Lishe. The remains of up to 28 deceased hostages are yet to be handed over. In exchange for the hostages, Israel is releasing 250 Palestinian prisoners and more than 1,700 detainees. The first groups have begun arriving in Ramallah in occupied West Bank and Gaza. That's all from the regional international stories. Back to you, Lasuba Memo.
Thanks, Walma Pal. This is iRadio News, and now to the world of sports. Here is Darlington Moses.
Thank you so much, Lasuba Memo. In the world of sport, Ghana are the 21st team to qualify for the 2026 World Cup, and at least 6 more of the 48 places will be decided this week. Asia and Africa are where all the latest granted spots will come from, with 2 from Asia and 4 more from Africa up for grabs. Ghana booked their spot thanks to a 1-0 win over Comoros, with Tottenham's Mohamed Kudus claiming the only goal. Mohamed Salah scored twice on Wednesday as Egypt beat Djibouti 3-0 to seal their place at 4th World Cup. Algeria joined them on Thursday with Riyad Mahrez scoring in a 3-0 Group G win over bottom side Somalia. In women's football, Auba Forgino scored late as Manchester City came from behind at Anfield to contempt host Liverpool to a club record 7th consecutive Women's Super League defeat. Fujino smashed in a low strike to send Andre Jeglard's side second to a table and extend the Reds' losing league run, which stretches back to the end of the season. City trapped Liverpool inside their own third for much of the first half, but the hosts took a surprise lead in the 52nd minute when Cornelio Corpox headed in a brilliant Seri Holland cross. City drew level 12 minutes later when Iman Berni smashed home to rebounds after Rafaela Bagrev palmed Khadija Sou's header into a dangerous area. And finally, world number 204 Valentin Vercherot upset his cousin Arthur Rekamnech to win his first ATP title at the Shanghai Masters. Monaco's Vercherot fought back from a set down to win 4-6, 6-3, 6-3 against the world number 54 to become the lowest ranked ATP Masters 1,000 champion since the series began in 1990. The 26-year-old earns prize money of €824,000, more than double Fitzgerald's previous earning in the career of $380,000. He sealed the success with a searing forehand down to the line, and after hugging Rendichnet at the net, sprinted off court and up one of the boxes to celebrate with his coach and family. Thanks, La Super Memo. This is all in the world of sport.
Thank you indeed, Darlington Moses. This is iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. The United Nations Human Rights Commission says South Sudanese are looking to the African Union and the region to rescue them from a preventable fate. The Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, James Mawich Makwaj, is in Egypt for the 8th Cairo Water Week Conference, which kicked off on Sunday. And veteran journalist and political commentator Michael Comer has died after a short illness, family members confirmed to iRadio. That's the end of iRadio News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I'm the Super... at 1:30 rather. I'm the Super Memo. Thanks for listening.